Hatsune Miku live in concert. The real ones know how huge that is for me. I want to talk about how life-changing
Jetzt
that was,
bin ich
but I'm gonna
neidisch.
separate video.
What?
I told my
Die hat
friends
es geschafft,
and
aus
they
dem
probably thought I
Gacha
was
Store
gonna try and resell
gekickt
them.
zu werden.
100% of the Chico stuff was mine, but that's what we got there.
Sozialer Entzug. Ich wünsche euch viel Spaß. Hallo Leute, mein Name ist Sozialer Entzug und herzlich willkommen halt nach langem wieder zu einer JaidenAnimation Reaktion. Ja, die letzte gab es 2020. Jetzt haben wir 2024. Ja, wir sind wieder auf Twitch das in gewisser Weise am Aufnehmen mit Nico im Chat. Und da postet schon jemand einen Papagei. Und ja, heute geht es um das JaidenAnimation Video Pokémon Send Me zu Japan. Oder Japan. Je nachdem, wie man es ausspricht. Auf jeden Fall interessiert mich das doppelt. Und natürlich im einzelgemachten Video von der Reaktion ist das Original verlinkt. So wie immer. Also, legen wir los. Außerdem könnt ihr es finden mit Hilfe des Links.
One of their Gen 5 sitting cuties for me to rank. Turns out they really liked that video. So much, in fact, that they said, "Hey Jaiden, awesome video. Why don't you come to Japan to watch the Pokemon 2023 World Championships?"
What?
Our treat. You won't have to pay for your flights or hotel or nothing.
What?
Once before in my entire life, and it was back in 2018 with my family. We did a bunch of fun little Japanese tours.
Ja, das habe ich damals privat mir angesehen.
Ever since then, I've always wanted to go back and do all the awesome nerdy stuff Japan has to
Oh,
offer.
sie hatten mir sogar Mikrositz.
At the time, they didn't even know who Luffy was. They would have been so lost. So when Pokemon extended their hand and offered to fly not only me but Jacob out to attend
Als
the biggest
ob
Pokemon
sie eine
tournament in the
kostenlose
world,
Reise
I
zu
took
Japan
the
bekommen hat.
trip to Japan. The tournament was only going on
Ich
for
träume
3
schon seit
weekends,
langem
and
mal
I
in
planned to stay
Japan
for 3 whole
Urlaub
weeks
zu
with a
machen.
bunch of sad
Aber das ist leider ein
stories.
Traum, der immer noch
We were
weiter Ferne ist.
Eventually the time came, Jacob and
Flamly Pikachu im Gepäck.
decided we both would bring an
Presslufthammer.
extra suitcase so we could treat ourselves a bit and buy a bunch of cool stuff while we're there. Don't
Ja,
judge us,
jeder
we're
in Japan
anime
macht das.
Nintendo-loving impulse buyers.
Miko!
A game plan
Ihr wisst ja,
was
dass ich ein
needed.
Miko-Fan
We were being
bin.
responsible. 2 extra suitcases was definitely gonna be enough. Yep, equipped with our extra
Ja.
luggage to the airport. Pokemon straight up gave us business class seats. We didn't
What?
ask for them or anything. So when we boarded
What?
we had the seats where you could lay down. There even was some sort of seat divider that acted like a car window, so I could roll it
Yikes.
down and bother Jacob whenever I wanted.
Schnell wieder zu.
An hour flight later, and we were in Japan. It was time to have the best trip of our
Jaiden
lives.
ist so gut in ihrer
I'm not
Animation.
joking. I had the most incredible trip and
Schade,
got
dass
to
wir nur
use
so
my
selten
program
reagieren
for
können
that.
auf sie.
And I won't, because I've now plastered it onto the internet forever. We landed midday Japan time, so we decided to go to the first thing we
Ja,
wanted to see
Japanzeit
while
ist
abroad.
anders. Nach meinem Spiel ist
Japanese
immer 16 oder
McDonald's. I
17
couldn't
Uhr,
order anything
0
except
Uhr
fries,
dort.
But Jacob and I both dropped our jaws when we saw something called the Double Big Mac on the menu. I thought Americans already went big with the Big Mac, but Japan did the impossible, just to send a message. What a magical place. Let's begin with the next morning.
Ernsthaft?
Pokemon planned a bunch of cool stuff for the creators and partners they flew out, beginning with a group field trip to the Mega Tokyo Pokemon Center. Jacob and I went early for it
Ziemlich mega.
and missed the bus.
Junge, das sind alles so Träume, die
Totally wasn't
man
completely my fault
gerne sehen würde.
entirely,
Ich
because
hab
I hypothetically didn't read the schedule
Ich habe nur
correctly and
Mitbringsel
taken
von
my
Japan.
sweet
Das sind
time
hauptsächlich
already to
Flamlies.
that. So, we
Verständlicherweise.
took trains on our own to get
Ist mein
there.
Lieblings-Pokémon.
Anyone that remembers my first Japan trip knows the trains were me and my family's mortal enemy number 1. We kept getting it wrong and it was failure
Ja,
after failure the entire
das
trip.
würde dann die Hölle für mich sein in Japan Urlaub. Ihr wisst ja, wie ich mit Trains funktioniere. Negativ, hast du dort eine Kosttüte?
But at least we were having a good time. After a lot of freaking out and mental strain
Ist
and
fein.
regrets, we finally arrived at our destination, and although by the time we got
Ich
there,
find's irgendwie cool, dass sie als Einladung Balduin hier genommen haben.
Mit
Mit dem Papier?
I meant to take a picture of the Pikachu waffle before I ate half its cranium, but I forgot, so this is what you get. Now that we were with the group,
Oh,
we
nö.
traveled with them for the rest of the
Das
day,
hätte ich gern
we hopped
gesehen.
into the bus and headed off to a traditional tea ceremony where we were taught all about how the tea masters would make tea and tea etiquette and all these things about the significance of tea in Japanese culture, all while getting to taste the tea master made. Again, I meant to take this picture before I took a chunk out of the little sweet they gave us, but here we are yet again. I'm just not that great at this. They also served us a really special lunch.
Naja,
super
wenn es zu
fancy
lecker
bento
schmeckt.
boxes,
Man sieht ja Anime.
so fancy that the host was like, dude, I've never even had these bento boxes before. I was super excited, but I don't mean to be ungrateful or wasteful, but the box was full of super fancy, complicated fish and seafood. I knew going to Japan I'd have to be flexible with food because it's really hard to be vegan or even vegetarian there, so I really tried to eat as much as possible and look thankful. But yeah, I struggled a lot. But I still had a great time and it was an honor. We were dropped off
yeah.
at Yokohama Chinatown and left to explore a bit until dinner in a few hours. Everyone separated into groups and Jacob, Stefan, the guy that sent me all the sitting cuties, you guys remember him, the guy named Steve, and I went and pursued the
Steve.
before stumbling into a little arcade with a bunch of crane machines. I got this silly little bear minifigure. His name is Chico.
Arcades in Japan. Gucke ich mir gerne mal, während ich meine Wolfis Videos
You know,
hochlade,
it was silly.
mal im
This
Hintergrund
single
an.
action severely changed the course of my mental stability going forward. You'll see soon enough. But look at
Wait,
these
what?
cute photos I got with them. We had a great dinner, headed back to the hotel, got to hang
War
out
da
with
grad
good old
Iron Mouse mit
private
Simmerroll?
or yawn a bit and called it a night.
Coole
After we
Anspielung.
got to do some private shopping at the Pokemon World's pop-up shop. I'll just say
Für alle,
we
die
got
Iron Mouse
way
nicht
too
kennen,
much
die ist
stuff
verrückt
that we
nach
also don't
Simmerworlds.
regret in the slightest. I even got this video of Jacob grabbing
Da
more
will
and
ich
more
so
silly
gerne mal.
cuties
In
as
so einem
the workers
Pokémon
kept
Center.
reorganizing them to keep
Hier
the
gibt's einfach
display
jedes
looking
Pokémon und da
perfect.
liegen
We
ein Haufen
walked out of there
Families.
with 3 giant bags of stuff. But it's okay because remember, we anticipated this with our extra suitcases, which I am starting to wonder if they are gonna be Finally, we will come down. We were then all taken to the creatures' offices.
Mit einem Lachs da drin in Gigagröße macht das auch
Pokemon
klar.
cards. It was gorgeous in there. They had these awesome sculptures of giant
Whoa.
Pokemon cards with crystals, and all the walls were lined with 3D card art. It felt like I was in a building with a lot of significance. Because I was. We got a tour around the building, met the TCG card testers, and were able to ask them questions about their process. Even
Oh,
got
hier
to
auch
see
wieder
what
coole
they did with
Anspielung.
Adachi Nagashima,
Das sind
the game
originale
director of the
Personen
Pokemon
aus den
TCG. It was
Games.
funny, one of the people in our group asked how they chose which Pokemon to make cards for. A good question. And then followed it up with, I really like Mantike, but there's only 2 Mantike cards that exist. And the assistant pulled up a list of all the Pokemon
Das
Mantike
Dodge,
cards that
da
have
war eine
ever been
Anspielung auf
created.
das
Sure
Dodge-Video
enough,
damals.
there were only 2. The director chuckled and was essentially like, yeah, sometimes Pokemon get lost in the cracks. We kind of just make cards of Pokemon I like. For example, my favorite Pokemon is Gengar. And you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense. Also,
Ja. Da sind Tonnen von Gengars.
Director and 3 artists who actually draw art for the cards. That was super interesting, and I was so incredibly inspired by that discussion. But you know those Pokemon cards?
Die
with the super
Animation.
cute clay art? That artist's name is Yuka Mori. And
Ach,
she
diese
was
Clay-Karten, da habe ich ein
I was
paar hier
so
rumliegen.
starstruck. Those are some of my favorite Pokemon cards. And not only that, but she hosted a little workshop for us
Als
where she
ob!
gave us
Die
clay
sind
and
echt
taught
aus
us
Clay
how to make
gemacht.
little clay Magnemite
Ich dachte immer,
for
die wären so
card here.
Clay animiert.
She brought the actual original Magnemite for us to see. That was by far the coolest thing that I've ever gotten to be a part of. We got
Ich
to meet
dachte
a
immer,
piece
diese
of
kleinen Sachen
genuine
wären so
history. I felt like I was meeting the
ein bisschen
president.
gemacht.
Also, here's me and Jacob's Magnemites that we made. Day 3 of our little
Mache es als
Pokemon tour,
Sonderkarte.
and we were taken to another Pokemon Center. This time in Shibuya.
Boah, das sind
which
so viele
was
coole
also very fast from a
Hintergrundinformationen.
Nintendo store.
Ah ja, der Nintendo Store ist
Like a
nebenan.
bullet was shot through our credit cards. In the shopping center, we saw a little gacha machine with little miniature Chicoa plushes. I was only interested in getting Chicoa, but I decided to test my luck anyway. And I got him first try. Now I had 2 of them. Yes, the original was still in my pocket. You can safely assume he is in my pocket for the entirety of this video. I've got pictures to prove it. Jacob snapped an awesome picture of the Chicoa brain rot taking over. When we were looking around in the Shonen Jump shop, a little Japanese boy pointed at Jacob and went, Sanji-san, before his mother quickly yanked him away, and I still to this day poor kid saw
Sanji!
a blonde guy in real life and immediately thought it was Sanji. Later that day, we also got to attend the orchestra played Pokemon songs, and it was absolutely incredible. Video game orchestras are so cool. It always touches
Ja,
my
das
heart
Sonic
to
damals
see
habe ich mir
video game
angehört.
music
Wow, das war
transformed into
epic.
such a beautiful new art form.
Und vom Kirby habe ich mal was
Anyone who have
reingesehen.
any favorite games or franchises. On to the first day of Worlds. It was exciting. People flooded into the venue. We
Whoa.
watched the opening ceremony in the crowd. Just wow. This is the whole reason why we're here.
Und ich hatte nur Interesse.
Look at this cute
Holy Riesen, ja, folge was
At
aus.
this point, we were absolutely pushing it in terms of luggage space, and we were taking a 2.5-week trip. Our shopping sprees until this point were very not frugal, so we cut our losses and bought 2 extra giant suitcases to fit everything better. Okay, we knew we were gonna need extra suitcases. Getting a few extra couldn't hurt. Look, the flights were paid for. We were still saving money at this point, I think. That's my rationalization. I'm going with that. Also in the mall were tons of Pokemon monitors straight up playing the World Championships. TCG,
Okay.
Pokemon Go, VGC. Japan treated Worlds like
Ja,
a
es gab ja
Super
diesen
Bowl.
Anime-Trailer
And it was
dafür
just
auch.
so cool to see one of my main interests so culturally celebrated. People of all ages would stop by to watch for a bit before going back to their shopping.
Das
I
ist
can't
Melo.
explain it, but it just made me very happy. We even got to see Wolfie live on the monitors. How'd he do? He did great. Don't worry about it. Nothing happened. Look, we were just happy to see our
Er wurde
friends on the football
besiegt.
screen. Proud of you, Wolfie. You're so cool. The second day of Worlds was hype. So hype
Schöne
that we
Anspielung.
left Yokohama and flew to Osaka. I haven't mentioned it yet, but we actually got tickets to see the one and only Hatsune Miku live in concert. The real ones know how huge that is for me. I want to talk about how life-changing
Jetzt
that was,
bin ich
but I'm gonna make a
neidisch.
separate video about that experience I'll be posting next. All I'm gonna say is it was the best day of my entire life. By a lot. Subscribe now before you miss it, just saying. I will mention, we did have to take the train to get back later that night.
Die waren auf einem
We
echten
got
Hatsune
super
Miku
lost again,
Konzert.
and we never get better at it. Don't expect anything to change in that regard. We did finally get back to Yokohama, crashed for the night, and had a nice slow morning as we got ready for finals later that day. To any One Piece fans who are caught up, we were in Japan for the One Piece anime episode. You know what I'm talking about. 1072. We were able to turn
Ach
on
ja,
our
Toon Force
TV
Waffe.
and watch it live.
Inzog hat
And that was
Konkurrenz
so
bekommen.
cool. I don't talk about how much I love One Piece much, mainly because it doesn't really come up. But One Piece's peak, and it was an
Inzog war ja mein Cartoon-Charakter in der Anime-World und jetzt hat Waffe eben den Mode.
Anyway, back to Pokemon. Sorry about that. We were able to watch the
Wie wohl ein
final
Death Battle
VGC
zwischen
match
den
live,
beiden
got
aussehen
to
würde.
have dinner with Wolfie and some other friends, had a late night hangout with Jan again, and that was about it. Day 7 meant it was time to pack up all our stuff from the hotel.
Ja, das ist der
say
schlimmste
goodbye
Tag,
to
wenn man
Tokyo
gehen
and
muss.
Yokohama, and head on over to the apartment we rented for the rest of our stay just outside of Tokyo. At this point, we had filled up all 6 suitcases and multiple backpacks. I didn't mention it, but Pokemon gave us a truckload of gifts that we genuinely had no idea what to do with. We're grateful nonetheless, thank you Pokemon. But yeah, the taxi ride was a bit awkward. So are you meeting up with some friends? No. After we got situated in the new place, we
Hoi!
walked around the area and grabbed some lunch. And I gotta say, the little hole-in-the-wall restaurant Jacob found was some of the best ramen
Oh,
I've
ich hatte
ever had,
einmal
ever. They even made a
echtes
vegetarian
Ramen jetzt
for
und
me, which was
wow, das
extremely
war
cool of
lecker.
them. Food modifying is a bit tricky in Japan compared to the States, so I was very, very thankful. And it was delicious. We then
Bin ich froh, dass ich kein Veganer bin.
nothing for the rest of the day because we were exhausted from the trip so far. I haven't mentioned absolutely.
Boah, das Video ist so gut! Und ich bin voll neidisch.
There would be a lot of, first we did this and it was cool. Then we did this and it was cool. Even though it was
Die hat Pokémon gesehen, sie war aber auf den richtigen Hatsune Miku Kostüm.
definitely looked super
Zert.
not approachable or friendly to the rest of the group by the end of it. Sorry, guys. But neither time nor Japan stops for anyone, so we had to keep on chugging along. There were a bunch of friends we wanted to see while in Japan, and one of them was Connor. He wanted to
Oh,
see
Connor!
Dean's
Den kenne ich.
favorite
Deswegen die
Italian
Iron Mouse
pepper.
Anspielung
I asked
vorhin.
if it was like fancy Italian, to which
Den gucke ich
I
auch
said
manchmal,
yes.
während ich
No.
meine
So we
VR-Chat-Videos
there, having a great time.
hochlade.
Suddenly we
Ich muss
realized
halt die
that
Hochladezeiten
Yusuke
hinter
Fuda,
mich bringen.
The director of Game Freak is there having dinner. Not a fancy dinner, my ass. I then looked down to see the Freddy Fazbear FNAF t-shirt that I am wearing. Not the best
Toll.
moment to exist, but hey, what can you do? The food was phenomenal, though. I already mentioned the best ramen I've ever had while
Find's
on the
interessant, dass
trip.
ihr Connor ist,
Definitely
den
the
kenne
best
ich.
pasta I've ever had in my entire life. Maybe top 3 meals ever for me. I don't know what the other 2 would be, but that Connor place is definitely up there. The next day we went to the One Piece store in Shibuya and bought a lot of stuff because there was a lot
Sind eure Koffer nicht schon voll?
in there, as you could imagine. If you don't get it, go catch up and come back. Don't worry, it won't take too long. My favorite character is Mihawk, but out of all the stuff the store had to offer, there were only a few stickers and a single keychain from Mihawk. I'm still mulling about that one.
Das war ich auf der Doku auf der Suche nach einem bestimmten Charakter.
The world's greatest swordsman deserves better. I guess I'll just take my Zoro and Law stuff. That's cool too, I suppose. I also found a bunch of Chikawa stuff.
Oh my goodness, that's not your store.
This is truly when you get to see where things start going downhill for me. The funny little cartoon bear thing. What? Is that such a crime? I don't remember what we did the rest of the day. I think we just crashed and passed out. This trip, as surreal as it's been so far, has been absolutely taking a toll on me, and I desperately needed to just not move or talk or exist for a bit. We were doing so many different things that were
Das ist so cool!
with so many different people that were all awesome, but man, I am not built for extended periods of that much excitement and socializing. As much as I would like to change this fact, I'm also not a very active person. I know. Up until this trip, I was practically sitting down 24/7, working all the time to prep as much work as possible so I could have a guilt-free 3 weeks off, and my muscles were definitely starting to decay at that point. I looked at my phone's step meter thing, and there was one day where I literally got 300 steps.
Oh.
That's pathetic. And suddenly, I'm logging over 20,000 daily. My body was screaming.
Wie viele Pokémon Go-Eier hast du ausgebrütet? Okay, das war ein Scherz.
Plus, we were in Japan during the hottest, most humid time of
Echt
year.
jetzt?
Every time we left the air-conditioned luxury of a building, we would immediately sweat.
Du Schande!
I grew up in Arizona, but even this was too much.
Ich glaube, man kann euch beiden fast an die Wäsche einhängen.
Disneyland was a bit underwhelming. It felt like a slightly worse version of the one in California because of the oddly spaced layout and surprisingly empty vibe.
Ich war noch nie in einem Disneyland.
Show thing, and as we were walking in, a worker stopped us and said, "Oh, excuse me, Stitch only speaks Japanese." Like, warning us it's not super tourist friendly, but I just think the statement of Stitch only speaks Japanese is hilarious.
Ja, weil Lilo und Stitch sehr beliebt ist in Japan tatsächlich. Habe ich mal nach Nachforschung herausgefunden.
Overall, it was not the best thing we did, but apparently, I didn't know this, Japan has 2 Disneys, Disneyland and Disney.
Bitte was? Das wusste ich auch nicht.
Which is unanimously deemed the worst of the 2. So, oops. Better luck next time. Jacob and I took 2 more rest days where we just turned to ash. And up and at 'em, back to Osaka we go. This time we went to an Eve concert. Besides Hatsune Miku, the Japanese band Eve is the only other concert I've said I wanted to go see. I love their music videos they have for all their songs. It's always such beautiful.
Nie gehört von der Band.
By the way, they're the ones who sang the season 1 Jujutsu Kaisen anime opening theme, if you're lost. Earlier in the trip, Jacob just so happened to look up if they were doing a concert while we were there, and lo and behold, they were. He got some totally not scalped tickets, which turned out to be a super complicated process, so thank you, Jacob. You're the bestest friend I've ever had. Thank you for going through the trenches for silly old me. Anyway, the concert was
Der Arme.
The atmosphere was fantastic. They had awesome visual effects going on. The glow bands a lot of people bought were perfectly synced to the music and colors on the stage, which really enhanced the experience. The music was great, which, I mean, of course it was. That was the whole reason we went in the first place. I talk about it more in the upcoming Miku video, but Japanese encore
Warte, sie machen Miku-Video?
different from the American ones. They're so quiet and polite. There is
Oh mein
very
Gott,
much
sie machen
no
Miku-Video.
screaming and
Sie machen
screaming.
Miku-Video.
It was just
Oh mein
a
Gott,
long,
sie machen Miku-Video.
a semi-whisper chant of encore, encore. And they also made us wait like
Was heißt das
5
überhaupt?
minutes for them to come back out. My hands were
Ich kann kein
itchy
Japanese.
just from clapping so much. That's how long it took. And then when they finally came out, they ended up doing like 5 extra songs. I mean, I'm not complaining, but after the 4th time thinking, man, that was a great last extra song. Well, time to head home. Wait, another? It starts getting a bit comedic. This is just a side tangent, but Jacob went off to use the bathroom before the show started and came back 10 minutes later like, dude, this is crazy, but it took me a bit longer to find a bathroom because there were so many extra women's bathrooms, which is like, Whoa,
Oh.
that's actually so smart. There's always
Na gut, wenn man die Linien auf der Doku sieht, kann man es ein bisschen verstehen.
Japan was like, okay, then we'll make more women's bathrooms to fix that problem. Like, it was so simple. I know in America it would probably turn into a stupid political thing, but it made me so happy Japan just implemented such an obvious and straightforward solution so easily.
Ernsthaft, auf der Doku ist immer die Schlange für den Mädchen-Toilette länger als die Jungen. Ich war zum Beispiel bei der Doku instant auf der Toilette und musste nur drin warten, während die eine Schlange hatten. Keine Ahnung. 2 Meter? Oh, Universal Studios, yeah, Japan.
So we wouldn't have to lug around a bunch of bags all day. But we immediately saw a little one-piece shop.
Ja.
We just wanted to wear these one-piece headbands. That's rule-breaking worthy. We also got some towels because surprise, surprise.
Super Mario Land ist dort.
I know I've been complaining about the weather in there, but my lord, it was miserably scorching. Japan has such a big culture around staying cool while outside, and I totally get it now. People would be walking around with little fans, ice packs, towels. A lot of women had parasols. I'll say, if we didn't get those towels, we'd
Ach, die Animationen sind auch richtig gut gemacht, wie immer bei Jaiden.
It was a cute Pikachu one, but I got it mainly because it was a cloak design. After soaking that thing
Sieht
in
cool
hot
aus.
water and putting it on, my body temperature instantly lowered like
Oh,
However, that
schlauer
night I was
Schachzug.
walking around the park looking like this. Back to the stuff. We did a bunch of attractions like watch a fun 4D
So ein Ding überziehen und dann durch eine Wasserbahn.
Went on a super cool 3D VR Spider-Man ride. We tried to cool down by going on a Minions thing called Freeze Ray sliders that claimed to cool riders down with a blast of chilled mist from a giant freeze ray. But we got on and absolutely did not even touch a drop of the mist because it never ended up getting in range of our cart. That felt like an actual tragedy at the time. There were a few big roller coasters we wanted to go on, but I get super motion sick and forgot to bring nausea medicine, so no roller coasters for us, but I shall return one day. The park, of course, had a bunch of cool themed restaurants, one of them being a super cool One Piece restaurant. Did I mention I like One Piece? There also was a special Sanji one, but we didn't know you needed a reservation, so It was awesome though. I love One Piece. After a few hours of rides and being broiled alive, we decided to cool off by going on the Jurassic Park ride. That's just giant splash mountain with dinosaurs. We cooked in line for probably a solid hour. As soon as we
Wie oft hat Jaiden inzwischen gebrannt im Video?
It started pouring rain.
Lol.
Now that's just not fair. I don't even understand how that happened, but whatever. We started buying all the stuff we window shopped for as we waited for the One Piece live show to begin. Again, please refrain from judging.
Die Live-Show war nicht so gut. Ich habe Ausschnitte auf YouTube gesehen.
We stumbled onto a little Mario-themed show just out in a courtyard area. They played some fun little custom songs and had all these dances.
Hey, it's Mario Dance Dance Evolution!
And then out of nowhere, they started absolutely blasting the crowd with like gallons of water. I didn't even see it coming. It was like firefighters showed up to put out a giant fire.
Jetzt ist es Mario und Rabbids. Nur mit Wasser.
The time came and we got to file in for the special One Piece live show. And even though Jacob and I didn't understand a single part of it because it was all in Japanese, it was awesome, and the costume design was phenomenal. It was a bit unfortunate though because the seats were all in like a half circle formation around the stage. As much as they tried to make the show enjoyable from all angles, it was pretty hard to see the main things going on in the center. My only true complaint though is that Zoro didn't come to our side at all. All the other characters rotated around so we could see them, but Zoro only did it at the very end to take a bow. Also, Mihawk being included would have been nice, but it's okay. By the time we got to enter Land, it was like 9 p.m. We got up at 6 a.m. by the way, so we pretty much just rode the Yoshi's Island ride they don't have in the States and headed home because that's
die Mario Kart Strecke braucht mindestens eine Stunde zum Warten. Wenn man Glück hat.
Also, we picked up a little dinner at the 7-Eleven near our hotel.
Ja, 7-Elevens haben ja immer da offen.
And they had a few little Chico plushie keychains. Just being transparent here.
Schon wieder so ein Gedanken. Oh ja, das Kirby Café gibt's ja auch noch. Es gibt sogar extra Soundtracks für das Kirby Café. Das ist kein Scherz, es gibt wirklich eine Soundtracks-CD für das
Emily,
Kirby-Café.
I will always be indebted to you for your sacrifice. The cafe itself was so well decorated with all these little Kirby things, and the menu was adorable. I got the star curry and a magical little fruity drink with a Kirby marshmallow that triggered my cute aggression. Jacob got the pizza and a Kirby burger.
Oh my goodness!
The staff asked him to not post a picture of the burger to the public. Like, they didn't know he was a content creator or anything. I guess they just didn't want the public to see a naked Kirby burger. We also both got desserts. I already decided I was gonna consume the Kirby. The presentation was beautiful. It was literal art.
Ui, das Auto!
It was decent. The body was some sort of gelatin, which I wasn't too crazy about, but the rest was super tasty. I did my best, but he ended up looking like he was in a horrific accident when I
Ooh,
the cafe
armer
also has
Kirby.
a special little private store connected to it, and yeah, what you expect happened definitely happened. We left with
Ja.
full bags
Wie was Neues
the
Suitcases.
cafe was connected to, and ended up walking into a gacha store. I am about to be very vulnerable with you here. This is
Gacha
one of the
Store,
worst
oh
times
nein.
of my entire life.
Japan
Please
ist
don't think
teuer,
too much
wenn man
less
das
of me
Merchandise
after what
mitrechnet.
happened in that gacha store. So I walk in, spot Chikawa, beeline it to the machine, obviously.
Oh,
As I
crap.
mentioned before, I'm only interested in Chikawa, so I was only playing for him. But by the cursed luck of the gacha gods, I just could not get him. I was going back and forth between the machine and the coin exchange, getting multiples of every other little guy, but no Chikawa. I could feel the workers' glances at me, probably because the desk they were standing behind was right next to the machine I was grinding. But after way too much money, he dropped. I got my well-earned, horribly priced at that point, Chikawa. I then started looking
hast
at
doch
all
schon
the
4.
machines, putting some coins in a few here and there, until I stopped at one that had a line of animals playing band instruments. They were very
Oh nein.
silly, but there was a little pigeon holding up cymbals, and I really wanted to get him for Jordan and Kelsey. In went the coins. Tiger, elephant, fox. It was happening again. Everything except
Es
the
ist
one
ein
up front.
Gacha.
I know more or less that's the luck with gachas, but it was getting to the point where I was getting surprised the pigeon was dodging me as much as it was.
Oh.
Surely the next one. What? Eventually, I had to go back to the coin exchange, and as I was about to put in more money, I saw out of the corner of my eye one of the workers peek out and take a look in horror at all the gachapons that were sitting at the top of my bag. They then raised up their hand and said something in Japanese while shaking their head, and I knew in my heart I was being cut off. No, please! I can stop whenever.
Oh
I'm
my
done. The pigeon's next. I can feel it. Why do you look afraid? What's under the desk? I got kicked out of a gacha store. I had hit
What?
low. I told my
Die hat
friends
es
and they
geschafft,
said
aus
they
dem
probably thought I
Gacha
was
Store
gonna try and resell
gekickt
them.
zu werden.
I don't even know if that would even
Das habe ich ja noch nie in meinem Leben gehört.
So many that they thought I was robbing them blind. I just wanted my little Chikawa and pigeon with cymbals. We made dinner plans
Das
that night
glaub
with a
ich
friend,
nicht.
and we were just about to grab a taxi and head back to freshen up, but Jacob and I caught sight of a fun anime and goodies shop.
Oh
Who
no.
do we think we are? People with self-control?
Nein.
We'll make it quick. The rest didn't split it for optimization. As I was looking around, I saw it. A whole section
Oh mein
dedicated
Gott.
to Chikawa. It was like someone put a freshly baked pie on a window
Ay, caramba.
floating over to it. My
Das
eyes were
wird...
zoned
Wie
in.
teuer war der
I saw
Clip
every single thing
insgesamt?
possible, putting Chikawa after Chikawa in the basket. Jacob eventually came over and showed me a picture he took on his phone. In my tunnel vision, all my eyes registered was that the picture showed more Chikawa in the store. I immediately went feral. Where? Jacob's eyebrows went up in surprise and maybe a bit of fear. And as I looked at
Ja,
I
hätte ich auch.
Jacob wasn't showing me a picture of a
Junge,
different Chikawa
man muss schon
section.
mit seinem Geld
He was showing
aufpassen.
me a picture of me at the current Chikawa section I was standing in because he thought it was funny. And in my Chikawa brain rot, I didn't even register I was in the picture. I just saw more Chikawa and went obsessive. This is how I am. Either stand by me or leave. No, I don't need an intervention. Put it away. We left. I looked longingly at the crane machine Chikawas we didn't have time for, and we made it in.
Muss schon wegziehen.
Another arcade nearby anyway, and I got myself a Chikawa from one of those machines, so it worked out. Stop, I don't want to hear it. Finally,
Oh mein Gott, muss man die sozusagen schon an die Leine nehmen?
There was a cool One Piece scavenger hunt event going on, so we also did that with them. We basically had to walk around Shibuya and find special One Piece trading card posters hidden around the area. And if we found enough, along with the special card of the day, we could get a limited edition mystery card. It was fun, but also hot. And all my clothes were sticking to my body. Daides generously let me borrow his umbrella, and I jumped for joy as he showed me it was coincidentally Chico.
Oh nein!
I don't know what's wrong with me. All I know is that bear makes me happy. We spent a few hours completing the scavenger hunt, got our special cards, and bid them farewell. Always good to see you guys. Bye-bye.
Oh.
I accidentally stole Daides' umbrella. It looked so calculated. They knew how much I was obsessed with Chicoa. They'd been watching my Instagram stories. Follow if you want to see brain rot in real time.
Die haben ihn heimlich das
I
gegeben.
didn't mean to steal it, I promise. It's not what it looks like. Since we were leaving in the morning and seeing them again,
Oopsie.
keep it, but the side eye Jacob gave me the rest of the way back.
Oh mein Gott.
Didn't mean to stop it. Getting back to the apartment, reality hit us hard. We needed just a few more suitcases. Again. In total,
Ja,
we ended up
sie haben nicht mal das Ganze
extra
berechnet.
suitcases to hold everything we collectively bought. And even then, it was a struggle making it fit. Jacob ended up going professional Tetris mode, everything into the suitcases with quite
Das
no
war
extra
so.
room to spare. We came to Japan each with a backpack, carry-on, and one extra big suitcase, and we're leaving with altogether 8 suitcases and 4 backpacks. We were lucky the taxi driver had a big enough car to fit everything because we didn't have much of a game plan if it didn't. Off to the airport we went, where we checked all of our excessive bags, paid a couple fees, boarded our
Ja,
flight,
dafür
and
mussten die
went
extra
home.
bezahlen, war
That
klar.
trip will go down as one of the best trips I've ever gone on. It felt like it turned into a celebration of everything that makes me me. All of my hobbies and interests, Pokemon, One Piece, at the last minute, Chicoa. We got to do incredible things and
Ach du
receive
Schande,
so many
das Bild da.
opportunities I'd never even thought I could be a part of. I got to see so many friends that are normally so far away, ate some of the best meals of my life, and overall was just really happy, especially getting to spend it all with my best friend Jacob. By the way, if you wanted to know why in the world we got so many things, yes, a lot of it was for us. 90% of it all was for our friends. 100% of the Chicoa stuff was mine, but that's we got them. Also, credit where credit is due. The majority of it all was from Jacob, because he's a great gift giver and even more incredible friend to the people around him. We're all nothing short of lucky to be able to call him our friend. You can go watch his Japan video. I assume it's already up, because we had to animate a freaking 30-minute long video. My god, it was a lot. Thanks for sticking around. But yeah, I just had an unforgettable trip, and I owe the opportunity to the Pokemon Company for inviting us to Japan in the first place. I'm extremely lucky to be in the position I am, and will be forever grateful.
Wow. Respekt. Das war ein extrem gutes Video. Und ich bin ultra neidisch. Ultra neidisch. Jaden, du hast dich mal wieder selbst übertroffen. Respekt. Damit bedanke ich mich fürs Zusehen. Bleibt sozial, lasst Daumen da und bye.
Changing who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving, you can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life and